Lost in a boat on the ocean, lost in a ship out at sea, lost in the dark of misfortune. Where is a light I can see? Where is the highway to heaven? Where is the love we all need? Where is the peace that we long for? Where is the man who is free? Here in the heart there is freedom. Here in the heart there is peace. Here in the heart is the answer to questions much deeper than these. You got to hold on tightly, let go lightly. It's only surrender. It's all in the game if you can hold on tightly, let go lightly. There's always forgiveness and no one to blame. Some will take fame over fortune, some take love over gold, some will pray only for power, some never want to grow old. Some see the day that is coming, some only see what has passed. Someone will always be first in line, someone will always be last. Here in the heart there is freedom. Here in the heart there is peace. Here in the heart is the answer to questions much deeper than these. You got to hold on tightly, let go lightly. It's only surrender. It's all in the game if you can hold on tightly, let go lightly. There's always forgiveness and no one to blame. Hold on tightly, let go lightly. It's only surrender. It's all in the game if you can hold on tightly, let go lightly. There's always forgiveness and no one to blame. There's always forgiveness and no one to blame.
John, come and join us.
Thank you, Tony.
That was absolutely brilliant.
For this time of the morning, well,
yeah.
pretty good.
Listen, you were a folk singer way back in the old days. You started as a folk singer. Does that help you find a voice at ridiculous hours?
Nothing helps this time of the morning.
Because I just noticed the chin going up, and I know that a lot of folk singers have the chin way up when they're straining because they have no microphones, no amplification and everything.
Well, I'm not sure that was the case for me this morning, but, you know, you struggle. I once did a show with an opera singer who was warming up at about this time for a very early morning show, and he informed the people that he usually didn't clear his throat before noon.
Well, which time he'd recorded about 3 LPs, I think, for that.
Yeah, right.
Do you do any vocal exercises?
I do, yes. There's a whole ritual that I have before I do concerts, and that includes really trying to take some time and vocalize for a good half an hour or so to warm the old chords up.
Did you have to learn to sing? I mean, you weren't going to be a singer, were you?
Well, no. I just always sang. You know, there was never a time in my life when I didn't sing. And it sort of, you know, it got to the point where I needed to get it out of my system in a serious way before I could go to school seriously, or I should give up going to school. And that's sort of what happened, is I wanted to find out how far I could go with my music.
Mm-hmm.
Were you always sure that that was what you were going to do as a career? I mean, at what age did you think, I'm going to be a singer when I grow up?
I guess about the time that I really made that decision to leave college, which was, I was about 18 years old.
Well, how much did your parents defend that decision, or were they a bit sort of horrified and say, can't you get a proper job?
They were horrified, and it was a feeling that singing for a living was not a proper job. And at the same time, the greatest experience of love that I ever had in my life was my parents. You know, it was totally against everything that they believed was good and possible for my future.
and yet they supported my going. My dad gave me $200 and said, look, you know, when you get tired of messing around, when you go back to school, come on back, we'll still be here. And I thought that was just an incredible expression of love.
But you didn't lose your training, did you? I mean, you were training as an architect.
Yes.
And you designed your own house. So
well, I had to do a great deal with my home, yes. So
yeah.
That's great.
And listen, I'm really sort of devastated by this new image. Where's the glasses?
Well, I started wearing contact lenses a little over a year ago. And somehow, within all the changes that have gone on in my life, it was no longer comfortable and it didn't feel like me anymore wearing glasses.
I'm surprised actually, because it actually hasn't changed you that much, because what I like is the face that you're doing it right now. Your face just smiles all the time.
I feel like I'm always smiling, and especially these days, I'm a pretty happy guy.
Yeah, because you've got quite a bit into comedy recently, haven't you?
Well, it's been enjoyable in regard to doing television and some of the films that I've had the pleasure of doing to work with really great comedians, and so to be supportive of that, I don't think that I'm a comedian myself, but I like the light side.
Yeah, I saw you comparing an amazing American show with George Burns.
Yes.
Well, what's he like? I mean, the age gap between you, I mean, what, about 50 years or something? You seem to get on incredibly well.
We had a wonderful time together and found we had a great deal in common. And George is just as sharp as a tack and funny, and we would sit backstage while they were changing the lights and everything for the film on the set, and he would tell stories about vaudeville and stories about Gracie, and he's great, and he's just like you imagine, you know, and you can't not be around him and not want to hug him.
You're very much part of the American establishment now, really. I mean, you started off as a sort of a brash young boy with a guitar, and now you're very much sort of, you did a spectacular with Frank Sinatra, and several things with Sinatra.
Yes.
Oh, did you aim for that? Did it just sort of happen?
It just sort of happened, and I think to a large degree, the people that I've had the real great pleasure of working with has come out of the incentive of my real good friend and manager, Jerry Weintraub. He had the notion of doing that, of putting me with Frank Sinatra, and everybody thought, you know, that's impossible, that's not going to work at all. And it did work, and Mr. Sinatra and I have a great deal in common, and we're both professionals, we love to sing, we love performing, and I think that more than anything else is what really drew us together. And the same with having worked with people like Doris Day and Dick Van Dyke and Danny Kaye and George Burns. You know.
What about being a big musical? What about Wayne directing you, giving you some choreography and having Brenda in it as well?
It's a deal. Why don't we do that?
Let's make a show.
I saw Cats last night.
Yeah.
And it was glorious. You know, and I love to go to the theater here in Britain, and every time I go to the theater, it's just an incredibly moving thing to me. I find myself at the end of the show that, you know, there's always some big dramatic thing in the show, and that gal sang that song, Memories, last night, and my eyes were just overflowing, and I wanted to be up there singing, and I want to dance. I want to learn how to tap dance.
Okay, you're going to get these two together and teach
only if they teach me how to sing.
You know, are you doing any concerts while you're here? You're literally promoting...
I'm doing one concert Monday night at Albert Hall.
And you're doing one in Lewisham, and you're at least one.